Hi everyone, welcome to Draftscapes. I'm Chris Tuccio. In the previous videos, I looked at planning a landscape design business from a research perspective, gaining knowledge and finding your competitive edge. Now, you're going to need to take action. In this video, I'm going to provide a step-by-step guide to registering your business, checking licensing requirements, and calculating startup costs for your new business. Stick around. Hi everyone. So the first critical step in creating your professional business entity is developing your company name. There are many resources and guides available throughout the internet that can assist you in brainstorming a name for your new company. However, many landscape designers usually just use their own name as the name for their company. For example, Christopher Tuccio Landscape Design. There are several benefits to doing this, which we're going to see as we progress, but you may need to decide to choose another name or a unique name for your company. My advice for developing your company name would be to think broadly and not really attach the name to a specific niche that you had identified in your industry or consumer analyses. For example, if you were to specialize in vegetable gardens, I wouldn't really advise choosing a name like Vegetalscapes or Fruitful Design. The reason for this is based on future expansion and the flexibility of your company. You might find that several years from now, the most profitable projects for your company have no relationship to the specific niche in which you originally started, yet your company name hasn't changed. This might hinder your growth. So choose a company name that is a bit more generic and broad, but ensure your mission is clear and your customers recognize your specialty. This will prevent you from becoming sort of locked into a poorly developed name if your company decides to move to a different sector of the industry. Once you've finalized a good name for your company, the next step is to check the availability of the name to ensure that there are no other businesses within your state that are already registered under it. This is also a benefit for using your personal name within the company name, as it's highly unlikely that you're going to find a duplicate for that. To check the availability of your company name, you could simply check online through your Secretary of State's web portal or use a national online service such as this. You also want to ensure that you're checking website domain availability as well during this process. Having a professional website is critical when marketing your landscape design services to clients, something that I've covered in a previous video that I linked below. So you want to make sure that your company name is available to be used as your website name as well. For example, something like tucciodesigns.com. If your company name is different than your website domain name, it can be very difficult or confusing to clients on how to actually contact you or what your website is. So to check availability, you could just simply run a quick search using an online service such as this, or use it using your hosting platform. The next step is registering your company. The first step in registering your business is to register the business through your state's Secretary of State. Some state offices allow registration to be completed completely online. So for state filing, the standard business structures would be something like an LLC or partnership. Since a large proportion of your income, along with your physical presence, is within the specific state you complete work in, the state filing is a requirement. So to check the requirements of your specific state, you can use this website pictured here. Landscape design companies should also register with the federal government in order to obtain an EIN, or Employee Identification Number, also known as a federal tax ID number. The tax ID number is necessary in order to open a business bank account and to hire employees, pay taxes, or purchase wholesale material, as well as apply for licenses and permits. The process for completing a tax ID is very simple and can be completed online using this website. You just follow the IRS's on-screen prompts, and to complete the application should take no more than a few minutes. In specialized circumstances, you may also wish to register your business as a trademark. Now, this is not very common for landscape designers and should only be done after you've already registered it with a tax ID number with the federal government. The reason to register as a trademark is if your company's name, product, or service is widely known, like nationally, and you don't want others to market or utilize your trade name for themselves. I wouldn't advise registering a trademark unless you're completing work in several states all at once. If you feel it necessary to trademark your business name, you're going to need to complete an application through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Finally, in the chance that you decide to create your company as a full-scale S-Corp rather than an LLC, you're also going to need to complete the Form 2553 in order to register. The process here is much more detailed and laborious than the filing of an LLC, so be mindful of the differences. If you haven't already read the previous article or seen the previous video on legal structures for landscape businesses, be sure to review it in the descriptions below. The next consideration for beginning your business will be to identify the specific licenses needed to advertise your work as a landscape designer, landscape architect, or landscape contractor. The easiest to figure out is landscape architect. The landscape architecture licensing process is a national program run through the state licensing boards in association with an organization called CLARB, or the Council of Landscape Architectural Registration Board. The licensing requirements will vary a bit from state to state, but most require at least a bachelor's degree or master's degree in landscape architecture from an accredited school, along with experience and successful completion of the LARE, or Landscape Architectural Registration Examination. Information specific to your state and the registration process can be found through the CLARB website. For landscape designers, the licensing requirements are much harder to identify. So I'm going to define the term landscape designer as an individual that designs and builds gardens, patios, walkways, and other non-engineered improvements for residential or commercial clients. For these individuals, most states don't have a specific landscape designer license. However, some may require other specialty licenses which cover similar areas. If you're unsure as to the requirements of your state, please review my previous article on draftscapes.com on becoming a professional landscape designer. And also make sure you're contacting your selected municipality or state office. This is especially important for those business owners who wish to conduct landscape maintenance services that may include the use of restricted pesticides. The next step when finalizing your business is to ensure you're keeping track of all the expenses, invoices, and revenue separately from your personal bank accounts. Not only will this be helpful for you during tax season, but it's also essential if and when you run into liability issues with your company. Even if you're just a sole proprietor just starting out, it's a good habit to separate and itemize all your expenses for your business separate from your personal expenses. This doesn't need to be a fancy or professional document in the beginning. A simple Excel spreadsheet can do just fine, but once you have a steady stream of income that necessitates a more specialized product, you can switch to sort of a business-specific accounting book like QuickBooks or LMN for the landscape industry. The last and final step in finalizing your business is to identify the costs associated with starting your business. Landscape businesses can have a wide variety of startup costs, estimating from the hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars. These estimates are highly dependent on your overall business goals, the services that you provide, and your existing financial stability. A sole proprietor landscape designer that's just simply hand-drawing client projects is going to have a much lower startup cost than a landscape maintenance LLC that needs to purchase trucks, mowers, or tools. Small business loans are available to those individuals that don't have the available resources to purchase large equipment for their company. The purpose of these loans is to allow you to get the tools you need to service your customers while you pay off the loan to the bank or the lender. For new businesses less than 6 to 8 months old, I would highly advise not obtaining any small business loan. It might seem like a win-win situation that you surely will pay off the loan interest quickly. However, many new businesses fail within their first year due to poor planning, loss of interest, or life-changing events. You don't want to be in a situation where you need to close your business down while also carrying the burden of an expensive loan. I would advise waiting until you have found a stable, profitable stream of customers and projects that you can reasonably project that new equipment will assist you in sort of adding to your current project inventory or helping you in obtaining new jobs. When developing an itemized list of starting expenses, be sure to remember to include a marketing budget as well. Many new business owners don't budget appropriately for initial marketing. Even if really you only do referral work, that you're seeking to obtain just referrals from clients, you really should still provide a small marketing budget for yourself to help you get the word out about your company. So, once you've finalized the registration of your business and identified startup costs, you're officially running a business. So, in the next video, I'm going to review some marketing tips in order to obtain a client base and a steady income stream. So, make sure if you haven't already, you subscribe to the channel below and you go check out our other videos on design resources as well as design drawing tips and all things related to starting your landscape design business. Also, make sure you head over to draftscapes.com where you're going to see many more articles on similar topics to help you succeed in the landscape industry. Thanks, and I'll see you at the next video.